Bhajo Nitai Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Bhajo Nitai Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Om Janjana Timirandasyan Jananjana Salakaya Chaksurumidanjana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Tvameva Matasha Pita Tvameva Vandushka Sakat Tvameva Vidyam Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mam Deva Deva. Jay Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Sri Radheshyam Sundar Lal Ki Jai. Sri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai. Sri Ramdas Bhavai Maharaj Ki Jai. Lalita Shaki Mai Ki Jai. Sri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai. Sri Radharaman Charandas Deva Ki Jai. Sri Guru Deva Ki Jai. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Book 2, Discourse 2, Shloka 21. Srimadbhagavatam 2.2.21. Thereafter, having closed the 7 passages, the 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and the mouth, he should take the air from the root of the palate to the circle located at the middle of the eyebrow, the Agna chakra. Then, if he has no desire to visit the higher worlds, he should pause at the Agna chakra for about half an hour, with his gaze fixed on his goal and taking the air into the Sahasrara chakra, located at the crown of his head, attain union with God. Finally, breaking open the crown of his head, he should abandon his body and the senses. 22. If, on the other hand, O king, the yogi intends to visit the Brahma Loka, Brahma's abode, or having acquired the 8 supernatural powers, to sport in the company of the Siddhas, that move about in the air, or again to move about in any particular realm of the universe made up of the 3 gunas, he should depart from the body, taking the mind and senses with him. It is said that the masters of yoga who practice worship of God, austere penance, yoga, abstraction, and jnana, and whose body is as subtle as air, can freely move inside as well as outside the 3 worlds, the earth, heaven, and the lower worlds. People cannot have such unimpeded movement in any part of the universe through mere karma ritual. 24. O king, the yogi who proceeds to the Brahma Loka through the bright Susumna, so a particular air tube of the body lying between those called Ida and Pingala, and believed to be of the passage for the air or the spirit, reach first the abode of Vaishvanara, the god of fire, through the heavens, shaking off whatever trace of impurity it still left in him. He then rises upward to the stellar sphere, resembling in the shape the figure of a dolphin and presiding over by Lord Vishnu. (25) Passing beyond this sphere, presiding over by Vishnu, which is like a navel to the wheel of this universe, he ascends alone in his most subtle and pure body to the realm called Maharloka, the region immediately enclosing Indra's paradise, which is adored even by the knowers of Brahma, and which is the delightful abode of gods that live for a world kalpa, a day of Brahma. 26. Thereafter, at the end of the kalpa, when he sees the whole world below being consumed by the fire proceeding from the mouth of Lord Anantashesh, he rises still higher to Brahma's abode, where the foremost among the Siddhas reside in their aerial cars, and which lasts for 2 parardhas, the full span of Brahma's life. (27) There is no grief nor agony, neither old age nor death in that sphere, much less fear of any kind. The only agony they suffer from is the mental anguish they feel out of compassion when they see people who have no knowledge of the process of meditation as described above, undergoing repeated births and death that entail endless suffering. 28. Then, after reaching the Satyaloka, he fearlessly unites his subtle body with the earth, and thereafter steadily pierces the 7 sheaths encasing the earth as below. For his terrestrial form, he passed on to the watery, and from the aqueous to the fiery sheaths again. From his fiery form, he makes his way into the aerial sheath. And lastly, from his aerial form, in course of time, he enters the ethereal sheath, which is an index to the infinitude of Brahma. Again, through his olfactory sense, the yogi returns to the subtle element of smell, through the sense of taste to the subtle element of taste, through the sense of sight to the subtle element of color, through the sense of touch to the subtle element of touch, through the auditory sense to the subtle element of sound, and through each organ of action to the function power of each, and thus all of them return to their subtle form. Thus, reaching beyond the gross and subtle sheaths of the 5 elements, the yogi enters the ego. He dissolves the subtle elements into the tamasika ego, the senses into the rajasika, and the mind as well as the deity presiding over the senses into the sattvika ego. Then, through the same process of dissolution, he returns along with the ego to the principle of cosmic intelligence, Mahatattva, and finally to Prakriti, in which merge all the 3 gunas. (31) Again, during the final dissolution, when Prakriti too merges in God, the yogi who becomes all blissful now merges with that pure blissful form in God, who is perfect, tranquil, and bliss itself. Dear Parikshit, he who attains this divine goal no more returns to this world of matter, transmigration. These, O King, are the two eternal paths recommended by the Vedas, about which you inquire of me, of yore, when Brahma, the creator, worshipped Lord Vasudeva, Vishnu, and inquire of him. It was there two paths that were taught to him by the Lord. 33. For him who has fallen into the whirlpool of transmigration, there is no blessed path other than that which make for devotion to Lord Vasudeva. 34. Having critically studied the Vedas with a concentrated mind thrice over, Brahma concludes by force of his reason that alone to be the highest virtue, by which one is able to develop exclusive devotion to Sri Krishna, the self of the universe. 35. Lord Sri Hari alone is seen as abiding in all, animate and inanimate beings as their very self. To the intellect and other phenomenal objects are adjunct that lead us to infer the existence of the Lord, who is the all-witnessing seer. 36. Therefore, O King, men should always and under all circumstances with their whole being listen to, recite and revolve in their mind the stories of Lord Sri Hari alone. 37. They who drink in the nectar-like stories of the Lord, the soul of the universe, poured into the cups of their ears by holy men, are able to purify their heart, which has been contaminated through contact with the pleasures of sense, and attain proximity to his lotus feet. Thus ends the second discourse entitled The Description of the Lord's Divine Form in Book 2 of the Great and Glorious Bhagavata Puran, otherwise known as the Paramahamsa Samhita. Vayo Nitai Gaura Radheshyam Yapon Hare Krishna Hare Ram. In the next episode, tomorrow at the same time, we will read the Discourse 3, Worship of Different Deities for the Gratification of Various Desires and the Superiority of Devotion to the Lord. Jai Ho, Srimadbhagavatam ki Jai. Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam.